the bunny back in the box.
Ready or not, here Cage come, you can't hide. Cage gonna find you and take it slowly. Yeah.
Is that the intro?
That's how I'm beginning this. Let's get into it.
Holy shit!
That's how we are starting this particular episode, buddy.
I love it.
You thought they didn't want to hear us sing? They're gonna hear me sing.
Dude, half our podcast will be singing by the time we're done with this.
Oh, especially with this, because I have the gift of the Holy Spirit within me after watching this.
It is Christmas time. How's Christmas in Arizona?
Oh, Christmas in Arizona is fantastic. We got a lovely 60-ish degrees outside.
Does it? All right. I've asked you questions about Arizona in the past because it's completely different down there. Like, I think I asked you if your wife, who you just married recently,
My
right?
wife, yes.
I asked you if she's ever had a cheese curd.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And she's never had a cheese curd. She's had mott sticks. And she's like, oh, I've had mott sticks. But it's like, no, that's not a cheese curd.
She's had a cheese curd from Wisconsin. We've been to Wisconsin. She's had cheese curds.
Maybe that wasn't it. But there was something like Wisconsin that she hadn't done. And like, in my mind, it's just like, I don't think I would like Christmas as much if I didn't have all my snow, you know?
She has never stepped foot on a frozen lake. We couldn't get her to go out last year when she was up.
Why?
She was scared. She didn't trust it.
Yeah, it's tough to trust him right now.
I could have just pointed. Well, I mean, this was like dead of winter. It was probably about 1.5 feet of ice on the lake, but still, I could have pointed and probably just said, "Oh yeah, it's a big field." But she knew it was a lake because she saw it in the summertime. So can't fool her that much. She's a clever girl.
So this is the start, really, of the podcast. This is the first ep.
This is the first step.
You said after our last episode you were a little disappointed we didn't introduce it, tell people what the next movie was going to be, but we didn't know because we didn't set the list. We didn't want to know any of the movies because we wanted to play your game, which I won, I will say.
Sure.
So after lining them up, though...
Yeah, so a little bit of housekeeping right at the top here.
Yeah.
After that digression. Christmas time in Arizona. So in order to truly follow our metrics that we set forth in the intro app, we lined up all of Nicolas Cage's oeuvre, and we went through and found the ratings off of IMDb, which turns out crazy, but I don't know if you know this, you guys. IMDb actually has ratings on their movies. It's not just the interest level. They actually have the ratings out of 10 stars.
What is interest level anyway? How would you rate interest level?
It's just like whether it's popular or not. I guess popularity, maybe. Anyway. So he has 80, I believe 88 movies. So it's like if the movie's hot, if people are searching for it, if people are looking at it right now, if it has buzz. So
the only freaking movies that would have any buzz are damn superhero movies, because that's all that's out anymore. It's just all superhero movies.
Okay, well, get off your lawn, old man. Calm down.
What happened to good movies like The Artist?
Why is that your standard? Okay, I guess we should set the tone. So Brian's standard for a good movie is the 2013 hit The Artist. The Oscar winner?
The silent film.
The silent film, The
with
Artist.
The funny dog.
And if
you're a funny dog.
Ever
we're
gonna,
dog friendly.
We are dog friendly. If you're ever going to talk about a comedy, it has to compare to the 2016 seminal classic, Why Him?
That is not true.
I don't know why, but
that is not true.
I saw so many movies in 2016, and no matter what, I could not convince Brian that any movie was funnier than Why Him. Why Him?
Not true.
The James Franco, Bryan Cranston classic was Zoe Deutsch, I believe, was by far and away the funniest movie that Brian had ever seen in his entire life.
All I said was it was better than I expected, because I expected it to be just this shitty comedy, and like I laughed. You know, you big, what was it? You dick licker?
You double dicker?
You double dicker? Like that got me laughing.
Apparently, just the greatest joke of all time. I had a less than stellar opinion. So that's the bar for Brian. Anyway, so we line up the movies. They're about 84, 88, something like that.
Maybe. We haven't gone through and like
vetted them,
eliminated ones where he's not at top 8. I think we decided.
True.
In billing.
But we did find his worst rated movie, and turns out he's number 1 on the call sheet. And that movie was Left Behind.
Which was, what year was that released again?
Left Behind was 2014.
So it's recent.
It is fairly recent.
Yeah.
So we're kind of past like Nic Cage's prime, or are we in his prime? I don't know. Time will tell.
I recently just looked at the list, and it's pretty top heavy with the newer Nic Cage movies for what we're going to be watching. There's a few from the 90s, but nah, it's like 2007 past. Till now.
Turns out he hasn't put out a lot of good quality content. So yeah, Left Behind. It was a 2014 movie, 3.1 IMDb rating.
Which I think was by far, because the next one was 3.7, right?
3.7, yeah. So
I mean, it was the worst, by far.
By far.
And, you know, I didn't expect us to jump in so quickly here, but I'm just going to say...
Did you want more setup? Do you want to talk about Christmas again?
I fucking love Christmas.
Do you want me to give you the weather forecast?
Dude, we're within a week. We're within a week.
So when I was talking about the spirit within me, it wasn't the Christmas spirit. It was the Holy Spirit.
Oh, from Left Behind.
Left Behind.
I get it. All right.
That's where I was going with that.
Like, you, once we found out Left Behind was the movie, you sent me the trailer. And
oh, yeah.
I was fucking pumped, dude.
Oh, I was pumped.
I thought it looked amazing.
If you haven't seen the trailer,
look up the trailer.
Oh yeah, go on to YouTube.
It's great. I had no idea what the plot was. I didn't know really what was happening, but I saw Chad Michael Murray looking fucking sexy.
Okay, wait. So let's set the scene. We gotta take it. Roll it back. Let's set the scene. Left Behind. So Nicolas Cage, Chad Michael Murray, Leah Thompson, Cassie Thompson, not related.
Leah Thompson is Caroline in the City, for those of you who don't know.
Caroline in the City?
Yeah. I
would have gone with Back to the Future. But
who is she in Back to the Future?
His mom? Michael J. Fox's mom?
Who she wants to bang her son.
Spoiler alert. Come on, man.
For Back to the Future?
Yeah.
Nah.
But yes, she wants to bang her son. It plays a decidedly different character in this movie, but we'll get into that. Other feature characters, or actors, I guess, were... I'm just going to call him the actor from The Blind Side. Makes an appearance.
Yep. Good role.
There is the little person actor who's literally plays an angry little person in every single movie that I've ever seen him in.
And not Vern Troyer. That's what everyone's going to think, but
not Peter Dinklage. It's the other little person actor.
Is he's in like
oh my gosh,
like The Longest Yard or something?
Probably.
Like, I feel like he's in a movie like that. No,
I don't know. Yeah, I mean he's been in a ton of films.
He's also not like the little black midget from like Bad Santa. That's not him. It's a white little midget. I don't know how else to describe. He's got tattoos.
Little person. Tattoos. But yeah. Yeah, he's always just really angry and really aggro.
Spoiler alert, he's still angry.
He's still very much angry. Very much typecast in this role. Jordan Sparks, making, I don't think her acting debut, but she's in this movie.
It felt like it.
Yeah, we'll get into that. And then an actor by the name of Han Soto, which I was really delighted just to see him on the call sheet.
Is that the Middle Eastern guy?
No, that is the Asian. man, the Asian.
The genius.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah, Han Soto.
So anyway,
And
we
a
watched
stellar
the
role.
trailer.
Okay.
We watched the trailer, and like I said, there's like a plane. There's shit falling from the sky.
Oh, yeah.
It's fucking action packed. I was like, dude, this cannot be the worst Nic Cage movie.
No.
And again, we have a lot of spoiler alerts, but if this is the worst Nic Cage movie, I think we're in for a pretty pleasant ride, because I didn't think it was like that bad. Like, worst from an actor like Nic Cage, for this to be his worst movie, I'm shocked.
Yeah, I mean,
It's not great. It's not good.
Still ready for Wicker Man. I think Wicker Man is probably a worse movie, but it has gained such a cult status that, you know, people throw it stars just because they love it so much.
All right, so another sidebar here. We didn't have anything when we did the intro app. Like, we didn't want to spoil anything. We didn't want to know Nic Cage, so we didn't even have the intro made. So I put together an intro, and I had to find sound clips from Nic Cage movies for it. And fucking Wicker Man. I think it's just Nic Cage yelling the whole time. I am so excited for that movie. There's also a line that I cut from the intro where he's like, you ever been beaten till you piss on the sidewalk? Or something like that?
Like, beat until you're out on the street and you piss blood!
Yeah. And I took it out because I thought it was from the same movie. I thought it was from Wicker Man, because it kind of has the same background music in it. Like, you can't cut the background music, whatever.
Just
But
heavy synth.
I looked it up and I found out it's from Matchstick Men.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently he's like a idiot savant or something, but he's like stuttering the whole time.
I have seen that movie. I have seen that movie.
Is that also a movie where he's talking about like listing things alphabetically and A, B, C, D, and he just goes through the whole alphabet?
Probably. It's been so long since I saw that movie. I probably shouldn't have watched that movie because I was pretty young when I saw it.
So I thought that was going to be a shitty movie, so I looked where it was on our list, and it's going to be one of the last movies we watch. It's like number 17 best on IMDb.
Yeah, it's an ensemble movie, so I mean, in terms of billing, he's probably still up there. I think what we found out from just looking at most of the billing is that, like, no matter what, if Nic Cage is in your movie, like, he's up there. So...
okay, one other thing I have to, just before we jump in here, too deep, I've got to point out one thing from the last episode. Well, two things, really. Number one is your fucking Roomba turned off.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah?
Do you want me to get... I will explain. So, all right. So we got a Roomba as a wedding gift, and we nicknamed him Gojira.
Why?
And... well, because Emily wanted to call him Godzilla, and so then I said, okay, we name him Gojira because that's the proper like Japanese name for Godzilla, and I don't know, I just liked it better, and because I wanted to strap like knives to him and make him do battle with scorpions and stuff,
right.
Which there are a lot of down in Arizona. You'll learn that.
That's the difference. We don't have scorpions here.
No, so
We have cheese curds, just cheese curds.
yeah, so Gojira was great for like the first week, and he would just go do his own thing, go around the house, get stuck under the bed all the time, and like all of a sudden we'd just lose him and he'd be like lodged in a corner under the bed. And then this week that we were recording, all of a sudden Gojira got into the habit of like going for a minute and then stopping in the middle of the floor and then just like pouting and beeping. And we treat him like he's a dog. Because he like usually he runs around, does his own thing, but like he was just like whining in the middle of the floor and he would beep. And so if you hear a bunch of beeps in the last episode, it's because Gojira, we don't know what the heck was wrong with him, but like he would just pause and whatever he was doing and just beep and wasn't stuck on anything. Didn't like he likes humping our Christmas tree right now, which is really weird. Like he really likes attacking the skirt and stuff. But anyway, we actually found out that. Like, despite how powerful and, like, monstrous Gojira is, he is no match for my wife's hair. And so that's why he kept stopping and beeping, was because Emily's hair was wrapped so tightly around all of his motors and wheels and brushes that like her hair clogged up every system that he had. So we had to like take him apart and take all of her hair out and then like send him back. So he's fine now. But yeah.
Hey, we're gonna have to take a quick pause break.
Why? Have we not been recording?
I am not using my normal mic.
What does that
I'm
mean?
using the mic on there.
What?
Let's take a quick pause break.
Okay. And we're back. Okay. So, sorry about that. We had to pause and switch out microphones. If it sounds like shit, blame Ryan.
Yes. So we're still new at this, but we're trying to do it right. So we invested in these nice-ass microphones, and I just realized the first 15 minutes that I've been using the laptop microphone. So that is awesome.
Everybody's trying their best.
Look, man, this is our
Trying
first.
real hard.
This is our first episode. Cut us a fucking break.
Yeah. So, all right.
Okay,
So, come past that.
One more sidebar, because
I'll try not to cut you off as much as I did in the first intro ep.
no, that's not it either. Also, one other just thing I noticed was that I sound fucking nasally. Like, am I stuffed up all the time or something?
I kind of thought that you were during that intro ep. Yeah.
I'm just a mess. Anyway,
Ask if you're okay.
well,
when you're like,
I don't have a good voice for radio.
yeah, and then I listened to it and I was like, holy shit, this guy.
but
Okay,
rest assured, ladies, he does have a good face to carry him.
I got a better. Oh, go ahead.
He's got a face for radio.
I've got a good ass beard, better than Chad Michael Murray's. I showed my wife a picture of Chad Michael Murray because I thought he looked sexy, and she's like, "What's up with his beard?" And I was like, "I don't know, it's patchy."
Oh, don't go there, buddy.
Okay,
We'll get into it. We'll get into that.
Okay. No, one more thing I need to tell you.
One more thing, guys. I've hung up my hat for good, and I will no longer be using the phrase "hang my hat."
Yeah, you shouldn't, but that's not the thing. You gave me grief about the Croods, and I said it was very successful. Right? I want you to name me what you think are in his top 5 for gross internationally.
I mean, The Croods is an animated movie, so it's most likely up there.
Yeah? It is number 1.
Yeah.
587 million.
Worldwide?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's an animated movie. It's like a Pixar or Disney movie, so they always make money.
Well,
I know that when I mentioned The Croods at work, none of my coworkers had ever heard of it.
never even heard of it?
Never even heard of it.
What do you work with a bunch of Croods over there?
I guess.
Guess what his number 4... Okay, so National Treasure, Book of Secrets is 2, National Treasure is number 3. Do you have any idea what you think number 4 or 5 could be?
Ghost Rider.
No.
Maybe Gone in 60 Seconds or The Rock.
The Rock is number 4. Number 5, and I shit you not, is G-Force.
Yeah, that's another kids movie. Dude, kids don't give a shit what you put out. They just want to watch a movie.
Is it a kids movie? Because it's got the hamsters, you said.
It's sorry, they're not hamsters. They are, and they're not gerbils, because I thought G stood for gerbils, and I believe G stands for guinea pigs. So I really apologize. Like, PETA, try not to come after us. I'll do better.
So it should be GP Force.
Probably.
Okay, so those are all my sidebars. Do you have any sidebars that you need to hang your hat on?
No. I will try not to hang my hat on anything else. From that first episode, I know that I used that phrase way too much. I think there was a lot of nervous energy. We'll try to kind of calm down and just, chat.
Sure.
Chat.
Hopefully,
I'm
chat through
so
the right
ready
microphone.
to get into Left Behind, though.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it.
So ready. All right.
Okay.
So, here's the thing with Left Behind. When I found out that it was Left Behind, I was genuinely excited because I knew about this movie.
I did not.
But I also knew what this movie wasn't. And then I knew that this movie was not Left Behind the movie.
You mean
let me
the
clarify.
first movie, the first Left Behind? Because this is a reboot. Is that what you're saying?
No, this is not a reboot. This is... Okay, so Left Behind is a book series. Left Behind is a Christian book series about the rapture. And popular Christian actor, filmmaker Kirk Cameron made a movie called Left Behind the Movie.
Yes.
That has I believe at least 2 sequels. Left Behind Tribulation Force and Left Behind something else. That are complete released straight to video.
They suck.
Just bombs.
Yes. Yeah. Because the author of those books said that this was the first genuinely good movie that they had seen made about this book. Okay.
So I've read the Left Behind books. I've read... Okay, so I'll set the scene here. So I've read part of the adult Left Behind book, and during a retreat to Colorado when I was 12 or 13 years old, my sister's adopted, and there was this adoption retreat that we were going to in Colorado with a bunch of families who'd adopted kids all at the same time. And so on our road trip out there, I read through the entire Left Behind kids series. So
Nice.
Essentially they were YA books for, kids that were the children of the adults from the regular Left Behind series. So it was a dumbed down version of the rapture of hey, these adults are fighting Satan. We can do it too.
It was Kids Bop.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, the Kids Bop version of the rapture. And so I know what this story is technically supposed to be.
And I
so
don't.
That being said, this movie has nothing to do with the book. The only similarity is that the character names are the same, and there's the rapture. And that is where the similarities end.
This movie takes place over about 10 hours. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, all right, should we start from the beginning here a little bit? I guess talk through the movie a little bit?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I got 4 scribbled pages worth of notes to get into here. So we're not going to get into all of it. Trust me. But I do actually just want to say one thing too. This movie has 4 nominations
for the fucking, what is it called? Why am I saying raspberry? No, what
the Razzie?
Is it
Razzie?
Razzies? Razzies, yes.
So it has 3 Razzies, and it has nominations. I don't think it actually won any, but it also has a Houston Film Critics Society Award. The prestigious HFCSA for Worst Picture.
Nice.
But it has 3 Razzies for Worst Actor, Nicolas Cage, Worst Picture, and Worst Screenplay. So it is, nominated.
Yeah,
you can give it that.
I remember reading that, and I don't remember what it lost to. One movie for all those categories. I don't remember what the movie was, but obviously it's bad. The critics don't like it. Wow. The users on IMDb don't like it. Rotten Tomatoes score of 2%. So one critic out of, I think it was 68 liked it.
Nice.
So the first time that you actually see Nicolas Cage is in a picture, and what I thought was really strange, this is my introduction to Nicolas Cage because I have not seen a lot of his movies. He looked like they cut out a picture of him from a different picture, just like pasted it on there, and he looked like a ghost.
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, that like Photoshop job.
Yeah,
they could have
it was
done
so bad.
anything, and they chose that, and it was.
That's how we see that Nicolas Cage is the husband that Caroline in the City like is falling out of love with.
Leah Thompson.
Yes, Caroline in the City. She has gone fully like head over heels. I love Jesus. Like she is.
Okay.
You know, what?
Okay. So I'm gonna get back into the Razzies. I'm sorry to pull you out of the world.
No, I don't care.
This movie that you're trying to paint. That year. Do you want to guess what one worst picture? I'll give you a clue. It's a movie that you love and hold near and dear to your heart.
Is that Why Him?
No. It's even better than Why Him.
It's not The Artist.
No. It's movie 43.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I saw with another mutual friend of ours.
I refuse.
Just to see how bad it could be.
No, that is not why you went and saw it. You saw it because it had a star cast, it had directors that you knew, and blah, blah, blah.
And I had to see just how bad it could be. And it was that bad. The most nominations that year was actually Grown Ups 2. So.
I think Grown Ups 2 won most of them.
Yeah. Yeah. And After Earth. That was the year of After Earth as well, so... You know,
classic.
Left Behind didn't stand much of a chance. All right, just want to drop that little info nugget. Okay, so all right. So when we begin, this story takes place in New York. Yeah.
Oh
it's
yeah.
New York.
Because they're at the end. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Correct. And we're introduced to the character of Chloe.
Yes. Who I don't know that actress, but she's a cute little gal.
So her name is Cassie Thompson. She's not related to Leah Thompson. I almost thought it was, but it's spelled differently.
Her and Chad Michael Murray, they make some pretty babies.
Yeah, so she's in the airport, and Chad Michael Murray shows up randomly, and he is Buck Cameron, investigative journalist. And here's where I had my first major issue with this movie, because what the holy hell is he investigating? What is he investigating?
Why?
He's just a reporter.
Why is he so famous? Like, it's a big deal. If you meet Buck, like, fucking Chloe or whatever goes home and tells her mom, oh my God, I met Buck. And she's like, you met Buck? It's like, who the fuck is this Buck guy?
Yeah. So, okay, name who's your favorite investigative journalist?
The Onion.
Yeah, right? Like Barbara Walters isn't an investigative journalist. I would think an investigative journalist, like, if you want a movie about investigative journalism, that's like The Post, the movie that's coming out right now. That is Spotlight. Like, that's investigative journalism. This movie, like, that's Rachel McAdams' character from Spotlight. And if she was walking through an airport, nobody's going to approach her and go on some crazy rant.
Oh, yeah, okay, because you're talking like the really religious lady who starts going off on him. Yeah, what is he investigating that lady got so worked up about?
As far as I can tell, the only thing that he's investigating are, like, natural disasters. And I'll give you a hint, man. Weather.
Yeah.
It's, like, weather. And, like, so I don't know if he's, like, trying to investigate whether, like, God hates everybody, and, like, that's what he's been investigating?
Here's where that was a good Brian voice right there. Here's where a little of my fan fiction comes in. I'm going to pretend that Chad Michael Murray's character from One Tree Hill is living in the same universe, and he's really famous from One Tree Hill, and he just changed his name to Buck, and it's like his pseudonym.
And he's just a really good basketball player?
Yeah, he's just a really good basketball player. I watched...
Turned investigative journalist.
Every episode of One Tree Hill.
See, I'm a Friday Night Lights guy.
Damn one. It was basically torture. Because I made my wife watch all 8 Harry Potters, I had to watch fucking 9 seasons of One Tree Hill.
Fair trade. It's like 21 hours compared to like 170.
Yes! first couple seasons actually were kind of like, all right, I can get into this, but oh my god. Anyway.
Oh, I watched One Tree Hill's like first 3 seasons.
They're not bad.
When it was like coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I was like a young little emo boy. I was all about it.
Other...
I will say that Chad Michael Murray is my favorite 3 named actor. Absolutely.
Even more than like Michael Keegan Key?
Keegan-Michael Key?
Keegan-Michael Key?
Keegan-Michael Peel?
Yeah.
Key and Peel? Yeah. No, Chad Michael Murray. CMM, baby.
I'm just
the
trying
original
to think.
CM Punk.
Who are some
CMM.
more... I don't... Off the top of my head...
Maria Conchita Alonso?
Nope. Doesn't mean anything to me.
Neil Patrick Harris?
Oh, that's a good one.
See. Nope. Give me Chad Michael Murray.
One other thing right off the bat in this movie that just took me out of it was the background music. Like,
yeah.
There was like fucking smooth jazz, which I was totally digging. Like very early on, there was some smooth like Kenny G music going on in the background.
Oh,
I was just like,
I know exactly
yes!
the moment that you're talking about, though. So first off, like we're in the airport. Okay, so we're in the airport. Chloe's there. She calls home and she's talking to Leah Thompson. She's like, "Mom, I'm home. Where's Dad?" And she's like, "Oh, well, Dad has to fly." So Nic Cage is Chloe's dad, and Nic Cage has to go to London.
Mm-hmm. On a flight, transatlantic.
From New York to London. Mm-hmm. And so Chloe, as it turns out, isn't going to see her dad, except, wait, she's at the airport. Dad's got to come through. So she's going to chill out and wait for Dad, because that's apparently what you can do in airports in 2014. Is just hang out and have unrestricted access anywhere you want. So she meets Buck while there. They have a little meet cute in a restaurant while Buck gets like assaulted from some religious lady. And I will say that the music tone shifts every time.
Oh, yeah.
Like the word, like the idea of God is like introduced. I have a note here underlined 5 times that says heavy-handed, because it's like if they're gonna bring God up, they want you to know that they are bringing God up. So, like, I know that this is, like, Christian propaganda film in a sense, but I don't know if it's, like, pro-Christianity, because they make the pro-Christian people seem insane.
Yes.
And they even like say it in the movie, and then like you would think that the people who say, "Oh, those Christian people, they're insane," would like somehow be smited or like proven wrong. No, like they're more redeeming than the actual like fanatics.
Chloe calls her mom a Jesus freak or something.
Yeah.
Or no. She called the lady at the airport a Jesus freak, and then she's like, "Oh, wait, Mom, I'm sorry. Like, I didn't mean that about you." Blah blah blah. So anyway, Nic Cage finally comes rolling up with this babe like stewardess,
and that's where the saxophone music kicks in.
And the first thing
because we gotta know that she's slutty.
The first thing we hear from Nic Cage, which I think is fucking perfect, is like maniacal laughter. He comes up the escalator and he's just like a fucking Nic Cage laugh is the first thing that you actually hear him say in the movie, and that's how we're kicking off this series.
But I think he either puts on or takes off like a pair of aviators, and it's just like,
oh yeah, that's outside. And then when they come up the escalator, yeah, because they got a shot of the stewardess's like bare leg with her skirt that's showing her panties, and it's just like,
oh yeah.
Yeah,
he takes off his wedding ring because he's gonna get it in with this slutty stewardess whose name is Hattie. Like a good proper slut name. She's got pink lipstick on, and that saxophone bum chicka wow wow music plays to introduce her, so she's a naughty.
We're gonna talk about bad acting, but oh god, she was terrible.
Hattie was doing her best. She's probably from the Valley. She's probably like fresh off of an actual porno and had no idea what she was doing in this movie.
Oh my god. Oh, there's one scene at the end where I just wanted to, I like cringe. I literally cringed from her. So anyway, I don't know. Nothing really too exciting happens. Okay, actually, here's my notes for. I started stamping like where I was at in the movie, and I was like, 17 minutes in, it's still not that bad. Like they're just talking, they're setting it up. I get it.
Nic Cage's hair and sideburns are on fleek.
Right.
I will say that.
20 minutes in, I'm fucking bored. That was only 4 minutes later, and I put I'm fucking bored.
Nic Cage's name is Ray Steele, by the way. I just want to also mention that. Ray Steele.
The next timestamp I put was 31 minutes, and literally nothing has happened in 31 minutes.
I have a note here that says CMM's buck beard equals heart. I love it.
I have Chad Michael Murray looks hot with 2 T's.
Nice. So we're on the same page.
Who the fuck am I to judge, man? He looked good.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Ray Steele has no bags going to London.
Right, yeah.
By the way, so he runs into Chloe, and they have like a little conversation. I do want to say one thing. You got into like your fan fiction about how Chad Michael Murray was his character from One Tree Hill. I don't give a shit about anybody in this movie. The one character that I want to like pay more attention to was the boy who was studying in the background during Chad Michael Murray's and Chloe's meet cute. So they're in this like restaurant, like cafe, and there's a boy in the background in between them.
You're saying like, boy? How old is? I don't remember this boy.
It's like high school age.
I was too drawn in by Chad Michael Murray's eyes.
No. See, I could not get enough of this young man who was studying. He was flipping through the pages, and he was like taking copious notes. And I just want to know what his story was. Like, what was he studying for? I mean, did he pass the test? Like, I just want to know. Did he get raptured? You know, I just want to know what his story was.
We're gonna talk about the fucking rapture because I have a few thoughts on the rapture. But literally, it goes 31 minutes, and I'm writing notes like, what are these weird camera angles? Like, there's just all of a sudden one camera angle of like a dead end road. It's just nothing is happening. Finally, I made note of it. It was at 34 minutes where shit started to go down, quite literally.
Oh yeah.
So,
I have notes
should we
here
spoil
that says, well, I'm pretty sure. The plot of this movie is, hey, guess what, guys? It's the rapture, baby.
Everyone disappears who's good, who believes in God.
And that's the plot of the books, is that, but the books, I'm pretty sure, like, in the very first, like, chapter, not the first paragraph, is basically like, hey, it's Ray Steele, and everybody's gone. So, yeah, like, with the biblical rapture, if you're a true believer in Jesus and you know that your soul is going to be saved and you commit your, and look, we're not trying to offend any, religious beliefs here.
No, but this is the movie.
I have a little bit of that background, growing up Christian and growing up Catholic, and reading the source material, that essentially if you believe in God, on the day of the rapture, you will be saved, and essentially everybody will disappear and go to heaven, and the non-believers will be left behind on earth, which essentially will open the way for the Antichrist to come in and take over, and they will have to like suffer through, I forget the exact time period, like 2,000 days or something like that, of like hell on earth, in order to repent. And if they accept Jesus after that time period, then Jesus will come back, because basically there will be an Antichrist and the God figure. And if they like pivot toward the God figure and accept God after that, then like they'll be saved again, or like they get like a second chance essentially.
So we start seeing between Chloe and the plane, because they're on the plane, they're in the Atlantic. We start bouncing back and forth between them. Michael Murray is on the plane with Nic Cage. looking fucking good.
He has to go to London. He has to go to London because, investigating stuff.
I don't know why God didn't take Chad Michael Murray. Just take
He's
because he's an
unbeliever, but he's such a good guy. Clearly.
So we're bouncing back and forth, and in fucking Chloe's land, what drove me crazy is why are all these cars still driving if the fucking people have disappeared? Who's pressing the gas pedal? Why is there so much mayhem? Shouldn't the cars just stop?
So what Brian is alluding to is that, so we'll stick with Chloe's story. So Chloe's storyline is that she has to take her little brother Raimi to the mall.
Raimi? You mean our 10th grade math teacher?
Raimi? I have a note here that says, what is wrong with Raimi?
Yes, I don't know. Is it just a really bad actor, or is his character supposed to have a problem?
It's kind of like, I don't know if he's supposed to be slow. I remember from the books, I think there was like a character named like Ramses or something like that. And there was like one of the main characters who does not disappear.
Based off the other side characters in this movie, I'm going to say he's just a terrible fucking actor.
Oh my god. I do have a note here that says Raimi likes to watch.
Yeah.
I also say Raimi is slow.
Yes.
And then I asked, do slow people get a pass to the rapture? And it turns out, yes. So they're in the mall, and she gives him a hug, and holy shit, like, I'll be honest, because I started getting really bored too, and I was like kind of getting distracted, like maybe looking at my phone, which we should probably like take our phones away and actually pay attention to the movies.
But when it's 34 minutes of nothing.
And she gives him a hug, and then like
that scene was
literally
cool.
There's like a sound drop out of like, whoom, and then boom, everybody's gone. Like, and it's just like clever camera work, great, but like it's just whoom, and then clothes drop to the floor and everybody's gone. So what Brian's alluding to with the whole cars thing is that like while Chloe is running around trying to find Raimi for like, I mean, real time in the movie, probably like 20-30 minutes afterwards, there's still cars just cruising.
Yeah. Planes. Well, okay, the planes have to fall. But yeah, there's like that little short bus. Just everywhere Chloe goes, something just so stupid happens. Like the guy with the gun pointed it at her. It's like, get the fuck out of here, you idiot.
Because, like, there's like...
The looters and shit.
Looters. Oh, okay. I want to get into that. Because there's I started taking notes of a Chloe near-death count.
Oh, yeah. This is what I'm talking about. It's so stupid. It's like Final Fantasy.
Did you have
Final Destination?
Final Destination? I put, like, Final Destination. Did you happen to count?
No. There's the bus. There's the shotgun. There's...
Do you want to do an over-under on 10?
Are you talking the whole movie or just in that first few scenes?
The whole movie, how many times does Chloe almost die? Do you think? Because I took a tally.
Right at the start there, it's like 6, 7 right off the bat. Then there's got to be a few more. I'm going to go 12.
9. Just 9.
9. Okay.
9.
I thought maybe it was higher than that. Okay.
So we'll run them down. So there's the car in the mall. So Chloe's in the mall, and all of a sudden a car crashes through the windows.
With no one pressing the gas.
Sure. Yep. So because the driver's disappeared. The driver's been saved. So car in the mall, crashes through the door. Then somehow she's in the parking lot ready to get into her car to find Raimi, and a fucking single-engine airplane comes flying out of the sky into the parking lot of the mall, and you see this in the trailer.
Yeah, that part was cool.
Coming, which sucked, but it skids into the back of her car, just her car. It's like the one tree in the middle of the field that, like, if it's there, you're going to crash into it. But, like, yeah, just her car. So now she doesn't have a car. So then she's just running and almost gets buzzed by a moped because, why not? But then, thank God she almost got buzzed by that moped and, like, killed somehow by a moped because she stops short of this tunnel only to have a bus drop from a bridge.
Yep. That's the short
in
bus.
front of her in the tunnel, and then go into like the ravine out of the tunnel.
Yep.
So then she goes through town, and she witnesses a looting, and this guy gets shotgun blasted out of a window, and then the shop owner points the gun at her while she's just walking by. Let's see. There's a cop car. I have cop car here, so I think she almost gets run over by a cop car.
Yeah, probably where the ambulances and stuff are waiting. Maybe. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Why does everyone assume that their person is in the ambulance? By the way, like everyone's person can't be in the ambulance.
Oh yeah,
she
sees an ambulance and she's like, "Raimi, that's my brother." It's like nothing. No, there's no.
He was in your arms.
Evidence whatsoever.
Why do you think he's automatically in that weird ambulance there?
Yeah. And then there's a bridge. I have bridge. Oh, I think that's when she climbs on the bridge and then almost kills herself.
Yeah, to commit suicide,
which we'll get into later. Yeah, and then there's the plane. And then there's a truck explosion.
All right.
So nice.
So I don't mean to cut you off here, but this is called We Gauge Cage. So maybe we should move to the Nic Cage side of things now.
Absolutely.
So
fuck Chloe. Chloe is the worst.
So I'm just gonna get this out of here right away because I fucking loved it. This is very early on. They're all freaking out. The stewardesses are trying to help people. Nic Cage is up in front. His co-pilot went
set the scene. So Nicolas Cage is on a transatlantic flight flying to London.
He's the pilot.
6-hour flight.
He's got co-pilot. Yep. And during the rapture, the co-pilot shoots up. A lot of other people in the plane shoot up, including the old people. The elderly couple.
No.
Come the fuck on.
Did you take odds on like who was gonna stay versus goes?
Did I make odds? No.
Yeah, I did. Oh man, I had like each character listed, and I was like, "Yep, he's gone. She's gone. She's gone."
The elderly people, how stupid they made them. Just a typical
the senile couple.
Yeah, well, they weren't senile. It was like hard of hearing too, where it's just like
I hope they make the rapture because they're naughty.
The guy did. Anyway, random people are shooting up. The stewardess and Chad Michael.
When you say shooting up, do you mean like
rapture? Shoot up,
disappearing?
Yeah, they shoot up to heaven.
Okay, because you have to distinguish that between the woman who literally shoots up in the airplane.
That was stupid too.
Of drugs.
But very early on, then the stewardess comes in by Nic Cage because everyone's kind of rioting. They want to see Nic Cage. She sneaks in, and she goes, "Yeah, you beat me in fantasy. I know." She goes, "I'm scared, aren't you?" What do you think Nic Cage said there? Did you write it down? She goes, "I'm scared, aren't you?" And he goes, "I will be when I have time." That line.
Oh, Nick. I'm almost convinced throughout this movie that he did not have a script. They just said, "Nick, react."
Yeah.
They said, "We're going to give you some stuff. You just react, bud."
Yeah. So then, they all start rioting. They want to see him. He fucking takes the air out of the plane and basically almost kills every person in the plane. Depressurizes the plane.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so basically, like, we're only focused on first class because, fuck those plebeians and, like, the coach. So there's Hattie, and then there's one other, like, stewardess. The other stewardess gets saved. So then it's just Hattie.
The sexy stewardess did not get saved. The sexy one that he was flirting with at the beginning. She's still there.
Yeah, Hattie's on the plane, and it's Nic Cage. Because Hattie and Nic Cage were going to go fuck in London.
Boating!
And
Go to U2!
Which Chloe's not happy about because she knows. Yeah, going to a U2 concert.
That's where everyone goes to bone.
Anyway, so like they're the only two staff on this whole plane. Which I don't know if you've been on a plane, especially like a fucking international flight. There are more than 4 total staff members on an airplane. Like,
is that all there was? I could have sworn I remember seeing like a guy or something.
No, there were 4. There was Hattie, the other stewardess, and then Nicolas Cage and the co-pilot.
Right.
And I can't believe that you just brushed over Nicolas Cage's joke in the beginning of the film.
Let me
His
hear it.
carry-on joke. You want me to give it to you verbatim
I
I can remember it? So we are introduced to Nic Cage flirting with Hattie by him saying,
Never mind. I remember this. This is awful.
so the coyote goes to the gate, and the gate agent says, "Sir, you can't bring that bag. Are you going to check it?" And the coyote says, "No." He plops a dead rabbit, and he says, "It's a carry-on." Get it? And Hattie thinks it's hilarious.
Oh, dude, she was wetting herself. She was dripping to the
Drawers.
floor with that joke.
Yeah. It's a good joke. It's a good joke. And then she brings it up later. And
So-
says, "Oh my God, Ray Steele's so funny."
There's honestly not a lot more to talk about except for a few things because nothing happens. They're trying to call a satellite phone. Chad Michael Murray, for some reason, Nic Cage trusts him. All of a sudden, Chad Michael Murray's basically the co-pilot. He's doing all the shit. There's
so Chad Michael. So the people. So in first class we have a senile old lady and her husband. Then we have Chad Michael Murray and Big Mike from The Blind Side. Michael Orr from The Blind Side, who I loved. And then we have Jordan Sparks
and her kid,
the singer, and her kid.
She's the wife of an NFL quarterback.
She's the wife of an NFL quarterback, PK Carmel.
Sure.
Yeah. And so then we have the little person and the guy next to the little person. We have this like British heiress and then a
druggie
Muslim guy and a
big Texas
like oil tycoon,
Yep.
and then Han Soto, this like Asian scientist conspiracy theorist. Okay,
Yep.
So out of those people, Big Mike gone, guy next to the little person gone,
kid,
PK Carmel's kid absolutely gone,
the old man gone,
husband of senile old lady gone, but senile old lady not
yeah,
gone.
what is she
stays.
doing?
She's fucking naughty, man.
She was gonna bang Nic Cage at the U2 concert.
Yeah, and so I'm just gonna guess that like the guy next to the little person was an air marshal, which comes up later. Don't you forget that little fact. But the little person stays, and the Muslim stays because they're also naughty, and so is this oil tycoon caricature from Texas.
With the Muslim guy, did he not get raptured because he believed in a different God? Is that what I'm to understand?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, he seemed like a great guy.
He did.
But,
He was just like, guys, I think we should all gather. We should pray. He's trying to stay calm. He's trying
also
to come
Muslim, so.
Right. So
Which
he's fucked, I guess.
From other like Christian propaganda films, they've been very like the only other film that I really have like a basis on with like the Christian propaganda franchise is like God's Not Dead, which I heard like a review on. It sounds just bonkers of like how like basically they like that movie had like a Muslim person being like, Muslim like religion is great, but I like Christianity better.
And
weird. It had them like reject their religion and get like ostracized by their dad because they wanted to choose Christianity instead.
I don't like any of them.
Bonkers. Exactly.
Sorry. Okay, so do you want to like explain a couple of highlights? I guess like the air marshal. I know the gun.
So the passengers rush the cockpit, which I have no idea what they were attempting to accomplish there.
Oh, because they think that Nic Cage has the answers.
Sure, and that's when Nic Cage depressurizes the plane and gets everybody to calm the F down, which they do. And then all of a sudden, Chad Michael Murray is in charge because he's an investigative journalist, of course. Mm-hmm. And so he has unfettered access to the cockpit, as does Hattie, because that's how planes work. Chad Michael Murray had talked to Nic Cage before, and he was trying to bang Chloe.
Mm-hmm. He got her number. He got them digits, yo.
Yeah, so Nic Cage was like, yeah, go right ahead. you're my best bud now.
Yeah, you're sexy. You can bang my daughter. A
Um,
lot of banging going on in this movie, but not really.
so I have a note here that says like that like panicky sunglasses lady, the British heiress, had sunglasses on, and I was like, oh, she's high as fuck. And then at one point, like, she wakes up and she sees everybody's gone, and then she's like, I know what this is, and she goes into the bathroom, and she's like, oh, you're just like having a bad trip. And I was like, holy shit, she is high. And then she pulls out a lipstick tube and she shoots up like more cocaine or heroin or whatever it is. And I was like, oh wow, I was 100% right. But spoiler alert, she comes back because I was explaining this movie to Emily, my wife, and she was like, well, how did they find out that it was a rapture? And I was like, I think it was a British high lady.
No,
like it
was Nic Cage.
Well, it was partially all the other passengers found out because of British high lady.
Oh, that's
said,
true. She
"We
had like
learned
some
about it
passages she read off.
In the Bible. In Bible camp.
Nic Cage figured it out too, though, because he's a smart guy.
Nick Cage figures it out because Leah Thompson, his wife,
Caroline the
was
City,
also raptured. She's super religious all of a sudden, and so she's been tying all the natural disasters that Buck Williams or Buck Cameron or whoever his name is has been investigating. She's been tying these to like, oh, well, the rapture's coming. So she's been getting ready. She's been getting right with God. And her whole family is like, nah, I'm not all about that life, including Nic Cage, who's like, ever since you got God in you, I've been wanting to bang stewardesses. But she left him a watch, and the Deus Ex Machina of, like, he looks at his watch and sees like a Bible.
No.
John 3:16, isn't that what it was?
That was the co-pilot's watch. That's when he was starting to put together like what the fuck is going on, because he remembered his wife, because he kept seeing pictures of her, and then he took the co-pilot stuff and he saw the watch because he was just throwing it. He was throwing that shit. He did not care if he hit any levers at this point. He's just throwing the co-pilot shit over his shoulder, and then finally gets the watch and sees the John 3:16, and then he gets the other stewardess stuff.
Nothing to do with like the rapture, but like is a Bible verse. So
but then he gets the other stewardess's stuff, the one who flew away. She had something Christian out, remember? And that's when he tells the sexy stewardess, yeah, this is the rapture or whatever. And my wife told me. And then the sexy stewardess is like, you have a wife?
No, she had to. Oh, well, he technically took his ring off, so
yeah,
whatever, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, and then he was done. No more U2 concert.
Yeah.
I will say this: the only like drama, like this is supposed to be an action drama, or like not a drama, an action flick. The only action is in really. There's three spots. There's with all the passengers trying to get to Nic Cage. That gets resolved very quickly.
Nah, there's more than that.
Well, I guess there's the gun and stuff, but nothing that put him.
Oh, you mean Chekhov's gun?
Yeah. But the only really other big thing is that plane, the other plane that starts coming at him.
Oh, God.
Which is fucking so dumb.
So Nic Cage decides, you know what? Fuck this. I'm turning this plane around.
Because they weren't halfway
kids
there
are
yet.
unruly. Yep,
kids are unruly. Whatever.
I'm turning this plane around. So he wants to go back to New York. Understandable. So he turns around. And then there's a plane in his flight path. And he's like, hey, man. Hey, buddy. Hey, whoa, buddy. Oh, no. And he tries to pull up in a wide open sky.
Yep.
This plane is minding its own goddamn business, flying straight as can be. Hasn't made any altitude changes. No pilots, because both of those pilots get raptured. Yeah, and so all Nic Cage has to do is get the fuck out of the way, and he can't do it.
Why does he keep going at it? Just go a different way.
So Nic Cage's wing clips that plane's tail, and that plane's fucked. Like, all of its passengers who must be asleep. I mean, like, they were just minding their own business. They have no idea what's going on. Like, the pilots are gone, so they probably might have seen people disappear, but, like, didn't rush their cockpit or whatever, I guess.
Well, they couldn't get in because you have to have the code to get in.
Well, the fucking stewardesses all have the code, apparently.
Well, maybe they were all really good workers on that plane.
Or maybe they all got raptured.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway.
It was stupid.
Anybody left on that plane is fucked. They're done. Like, they're spiraling down into the ocean, and they're done.
You can't
But
talk
Nic
about
Cage
this
is
part
okay.
without talking about how the fucking airplanes look like the movie Airplane.
Yeah.
Like, they look so shitty.
Pew, pew.
They just look bad. Just, again,
Like
going
when
back
you
to that.
see a kid take two little toy cars and bang them up against each other, that's
That's what it
kinda
looks like.
What this look like with airplanes. Yeah.
Oh, it was so bad.
So his plane, the wing gets clipped, and he starts leaking fuel, which turns into a fireball at one point. But then it burns off, and Buck is helping him the whole time. Let's see, and so that was exciting. I did have Con Air moment redemption, but then guess not.
So, I mean, we are getting kind of long here, but I do want to get to the end. I know we're missing the air marshal's gun and stuff. That doesn't really matter. Nothing happened.
No, because that was Jordan Sparks' big moment. So PK Carmel is this like football player or whatever, and his kid and Jordan Sparks, who is like his baby mama, are on this plane. And I want to call attention to it because honestly, so at one point Jordan Sparks, it's been like hours now, but she finds this gun, Chekhov's gun, which Chekhov's gun basically explains that like if you see a gun in the first act, like it's gonna show up by the end of the movie, like and be used. So I think I kept seeing this holster, and I was like, "Is that a gun holster?" Next to the little person, and so I think it was the air marshal or whatever. And so somehow Jordan Sparks finds this gun, and she just starts waving it around, being like, "Give me my fucking daughter!" And she starts cursing, and she's like freaking out, like. And at one point, Chad Michael Murray's like, "Hey, calm down." And she's like, "What if I calm down by shooting you in the fucking face?" And it was like, whoa. She just went from 0 to 11. And, I mean, like, terrible acting. But
Every person in First Class, pretty much except Chad Michael Murray, was just the shittiest actor.
Oh, yeah.
Just terrible.
Just terrible. So... I think Han Soto did well.
Yeah, he was okay too. It wasn't his best performance.
Conspiracy theories, thought it was a bunch of aliens.
So anyway,
so she she says this, like her theory was, somebody put something in my drink, somebody like roofied me, I fell asleep, we landed, you kidnapped my daughter, like PK Carmel somehow got my daughter, he paid all of you guys off to tell me that a lie, and then we took off again. Which,
I mean, it's
honestly,
not bad.
Is so much more realistic than no, it's just the rapture, and your daughter was like saved because of she's natural sin.
She was saved because they said it in the movie. Literally, every kid was saved.
Yeah, because
is
of like
bullshit.
natural sin. No, it's natural like sin. It's like.
I listened to a podcast called Last Podcast on the Left, and they talk about a lot of serial killers, and some of them kids wouldn't have gone up.
Yeah, well, anyway. All right. So she...
Okay, so Chad Michael Murray and Nic Cage both have satellite phones, and they keep trying to call Chloe. What?
No, I'm just saying Nic Cage gets the gun from her. That situation is de-escalated.
Yes.
That's all. Because he's Chad Michael Murray, and you can't say no to that beard.
Yeah. But Chad Michael Murray and Nic Cage both have satellite phones. They keep trying to call Chloe. Can't get through. Finally get through. No. Before they get through to her, they get word from the airport, LaGuardia, that they're trying to land in that, oh, no, you can't land here. It's crowded. You won't make it. Whatever. Finally get through to Chloe. And
or
they're
JFK.
Like,
they can't land at any airport.
Okay, whatever.
Both,
yeah.
But yeah.
Finally get through to Chloe, and they're like, we're going to have to land in the ocean. We're going to die, blah, blah, blah. I need a mile. I need 1 mile to land in. So she...
Chloe.
She
doing work.
She hops on a fucking motorcycle, first of all.
A motorcycle which has been running this entire time. Now, here's the thing. Running the entire time with the pile of clothes right next to it. So, that leads me to believe that this guy had to have just been standing there with the bike running when he was raptured.
Yeah.
Because he's a good boy. He's a good Christian man.
Yeah.
So he wasn't speeding. He wasn't cruising. He wasn't weaving in and out of traffic. He was just hanging out on his started motorcycle.
Yeah.
Just showing off a little bit.
So she takes this motorcycle to this little stretch of road where they're doing construction. And she tells her dad, I found a spot or whatever. And he's like, well, we need it cleared out. So she hops in this like old Ford or whatever. And for some reason, all she had to move were cones.
You're burying the lead.
What?
So Chloe is at like her wit's end because her mom has disappeared. Raimi's disappeared. She searched for them in like the hospitals or whatever. She finds a like patient who tells her like, oh yeah, everybody's gone. And so she goes back home to find her mom and goes into the shower because the shower's running. And sees
Mama's gone.
Pile of jewelry in the shower.
Yeah.
To let her know that her mom is gone.
Yeah.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
Is why? Why? Who wears all their jewelry in the shower?
I don't know. You wear your wedding ring in the shower.
That was like, I don't wear my wedding ring in the shower.
Yeah, I do.
I don't.
Never take it
But
off.
it was like rings, necklace. It was a full accoutrement. So my question to you is, what would have been funnier to find in the shower?
A tampon.
I'm not thinking I was thinking like a butt plug. Maybe like a full penguin suit. Or like maybe like Ray's pilot uniform. Like she was just feeling lonely. Or like maybe she's a never nude and she
some
like
jeans.
showers. Yeah,
Nice.
showers in like some jean shorts.
Maybe some like, what if there was some ho-hos in there or something?
Yeah, like just some food.
And a beer.
What if,
Ho-hos and
what
a
if,
beer.
What if Raimi was in that shower?
Yeah.
Like for some reason.
So yeah,
Raimi's just
Chloe's
chilling.
about to commit suicide. She climbs
So,
to the top
yeah,
of the
so
bridge.
Chloe's at
That's
her
when
rate
she finally gets the
within-
call.
It's when she's at, like I've been to New York enough to know that, like, I don't know what bridge that was, but it's completely desolated. And even, I mean, with the amount of assholes that are in New York, you can't go anywhere in New York and climb a bridge and have it be that empty. Like, New York's gonna be
rapture.
New York's barely gonna notice if there's a rapture because it's so full of assholes. There's still gonna be borderline like 1 million people in New York. So anyway, she gets
the call.
Yeah, so she's on this tower. She gets the call from Nic Cage.
No, Chad Michael Murray.
Sure, whatever.
Either way, she hops on that fucking hog and she cruises to this place, and then
because she just happens to know of a stretch of highway that's under construction,
and she knows how to drive a motorcycle.
Of course.
I mean, I've driven a motorcycle. Like I drove my dad's motorcycle when I was like 12, and I don't know if I could hop on a motorcycle and just know how to drive it right now.
Brian,
regardless, she gets to the stretch of highway.
Chick. Relax. What? She's a college chick.
Oh, okay.
Come on, man.
She gets to the stretch of highway, and Nic Cage is like, well, we need it cleared out. I need a mile. So she's fucking ramming this truck, because there's also a truck there that she grabs, into cones. Like, why can't an airplane go through cones if a fucking truck...
I love that. Because, she has to clear a mile of highway. Yeah, of like all these like traffic cones and stuff. Spoiler alert, the plane eventually lands and fucking crashes, grinds its ass. The like landing gear completely like fails. They tip over, like the wings grinding into the ground, like the entire plane's nose is like grinding in the ground. Chloe almost dies again because she's in the truck trying to get away, but
because she backed up into a fucking mound or something like an idiot.
Yeah, and like the wheels spinning, and the wing passes right over her, and like the plane crashes anyway. So they could have gone fucking anywhere as long as there wasn't like a building to like crash into, assuming, and even then probably would have been fine from the logic of this movie. I mean, they already hit another goddamn airplane flying at it like 1,000 miles an hour at them, and they were fine. So like, they didn't need a road. That road did them no good, and they almost hit an oil tanker that's like sitting at the end for no reason other than to like create a little more suspense.
Yep. So they land it. They all get out. They look at the destruction.
Oh, no,
That's
no,
the
no.
movie.
So they had to light up the runway, too. So Chloe has to somehow light like a beacon because they can't find this. She sends them a GPS location, but they can't find this. So she has to light a bunch of shit on fire in order to give them a flare. So she finds a lighter in some boot, some guy's boot in the old Ford truck, and lights a bunch of oil canisters. Again, why they're there, who fucking knows? But she lights those on fire, and it does like a sizable flame. And so somehow Chad Michael Murray finds it. Now, excuse me, I apologize. Cut point. So they land, they crash land, they get out, and it pulls like a wide shot of the city in the background. The fucking entire city's on fire
Yes.
because of the rapture.
Makes sense.
How the hell did they see this tiny little bonfire when buildings are on fire?
But then that's it.
I did want to say during the deplaning scene, like the Muslim guy who's like been painted as a pretty good guy throughout the entire flight, like thing, like had to take one last shot at the little person who's been a dick the entire flight, and like kicked him off the ramp. Like, the little person's getting ready to jump down the ramp, and the Muslim guy, because, like, this movie just can't, like, be like, oh, well, you know, Muslim, he's a pretty good guy, but he's not that good of a guy because he's still a Muslim. Like, kicks the little person guy, like, into the air down the ramp.
He fucking punted him.
He punts it. Like, like, what the fuck? That was unnecessary.
He punted him like Peter Griffin would punt Stewie on Family Guy. Like it looked like a cartoon. It was so ridiculous.
So unnecessary.
I didn't
like it.
I cannot believe we just talked about that movie for 55 minutes because nothing happened. I said up top, like, I didn't hate it, but like it wasn't good. Nothing happened. I felt like after it was done, I was just like, why? Why was this movie made?
Oh man, I do have a note here that says there was a billboard when Chloe found the motorcycle for a Camelot College. Yeah. I think that was related to the guy that was studying at the airport. I think.
Oh my god! Whatever.
College. I think there's a.
He's gonna be in Left Behind too.
Dude, there's a deeper conspiracy about this guy that was studying at the airport. I think it's all tying together. I want to make a movie about him.
A few more.
I think he had something to do with this.
A few more notes about this movie. Like I said, the writer of the book fucking loved it. Saw it before the critics got at it.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. And they originally were going to make like all four of the books into movies, whatever. Like it was going to be a 4-quill. And
because like I think the Kirk Cameron ones like actually deal with the whole rise of the Antichrist. Like there's this whole Antichrist figure that comes up and.
But the filmmaker did a GoFundMe. He needed $500,000 to be able to make it, and he only got like I don't remember the amount, but it was like $80,000 or something. So it never came through. I don't think Nic Cage was set to star in any of the other ones anyway, but could have got more CMM.
I mean, CMM is like Buck Cameron. He's investigating.
So that I can't believe we talked about it that long, but we need to get your rating. Like, is it fresh? Is it not?
I have like it's hard to root for Chloe even when she does good. At one point when she's clearing out the runway, she has to hop on a steamroller, which again she knows how to operate just offhand. And then she's yelling at it, like she's like yelling like "Come on!" And I just imagine that steamroller being like, "What do you want from me?
So
I'm just a steamroller." Like
to recap, she drove a car. She ran. She drove a car. She drove a motorcycle. She drove a truck. She drove a steamroller. Like, this girl, she knows how to get around.
She's a college chick, dude. She's a college girl.
She should have driven an airplane with her dad. Like, that would have been the trifecta there.
Oh, I also have a note here. I just want to point out that when Nic Cage, so getting more into his performance, because that's what we're here for. When they were going through the flames with the plane, he and Chad Michael Murray winced. They're in a fucking airplane going through flames that cannot touch them, and they both like wince
No.
like it's hot.
It could have gotten through somehow.
No, absolutely not.
So I told you, like, for how we rate these, I don't think I'm going to go off of Nic Cage's performance.
I am.
Because
I think we have to rate the movie and then we have to rate him.
He is a professional actor, and I'm going to assume more times than not he's probably going to be good enough. Like, would you say in this movie
I disagree.
that he brought it down?
Yes.
He was a little monotone. He didn't have a lot, like, he didn't seem enthused about it. But
No.
was he
No.
bad?
Yes.
He was
I
like
think
right there.
Nicolas Cage showed up. And that's all that's the most credit that I will give him is that he showed up.
I think he was like right there. I would say it
What
wasn't
do you mean he was
good.
right there? Yeah, he was there, and that's it.
I mean, like, he was almost good enough, but he wasn't like I still can't believe this is the worst reviewed movie because it was not that bad.
Would you say that Nicolas Cage? Okay, so do I think that he deserves the worst actor nomination? Absolutely not, because like it could have literally been anyone. It could have literally been anybody else in that role, and they would have done the same, if not a better job. I think Nicolas Cage showed up, like he was there, but he was just like a warm fucking body. Like,
I mean, ultimately,
okay,
I'm going rotten. Ultimately, I'm just saying it's not as bad as I was expecting for our first movie.
no, I don't think so either. And it was actiony. I wouldn't say action packed, but like it had its moments. So one thing that I wanted to ask you is, where was your peak Nic Cage in this movie?
It was that one line that I told you where sexy stewardess comes in and says, "Aren't you scared?" And he says, "I will be when I have time."
I think mine was either when he was calling to the tower and he was saying, "Give me a runway! Give me a runway!" Or when he was crying to Chloe and he was like, "Chloe, I love you more than anything in the world." So it was that like peak Nic Cage. I think I'm gonna go with the yelling though. I like "Get Me a Runway" because that's the Nic Cage that I came to see.
Yeah.
Is like the yelling Nic Cage.
We're going to get a lot of him very quickly.
I didn't know that I was gonna get crying Nic Cage.
Yeah.
So I was actually pretty genuinely surprised. Like he didn't even have to cry. Honestly,
See?
He
Not
didn't
too
have to.
bad.
So, he didn't deserve the worst actor nomination. Save that shit for Chloe. She's, ugh.
Like I said, it was a 3.1 on IMDb. If I had to rate it, I would probably give it a 5. Because I don't think it was worth a 3.
I wouldn't give it that. Like, there's so many just other movies that you could. This did
It's
not
just-
have to be made.
It was pointless, but it's not like it's not like after I watched it, I was just like upset that the movie was that bad. It was just pointless. That's how I felt about it. It was just pointless.
There was so many like things that I just would not have done.
So we are both going rotten though.
Rotten.
Because on IMDb you need a 6 out of 10 to be fresh. So that's what I'm saying. I'm almost there, but not quite. Not quite there. So far,
is Nicolas Cage a good actor?
no. Again, he was borderline, but I would say no, not in this one.
I'm gonna say inconclusive.
Well, yeah, duh.
Inconclusive.
In general, inconclusive. So, our next
Talk to me in
movie,
80 movies.
yeah, our next movie, we like I said earlier, most of them are recent, but this one is from 1993, and I believe it is directed by his uncle, Francis Ford Coppola.
It's not his uncle. Deadfall?
Yes, Deadfall
No.
is our next movie.
No, I think it's directed by like a Christopher Coppola.
Oh, you're right. It is Christopher Coppola.
In the Family, But from what I know, so the next movie is a 1993 movie, Deadfall, which has a 3.7 rating on IMDb.
Brock, it's his brother.
It's his brother?
It's Nicolas Cage's brother.
If you scroll down in the call sheet or whatever, there's another Coppola on there as well.
Yeah, they have another brother, Mark Coppola.
Is he in that movie?
I have no idea.
There's another Coppola in this movie, so it's like a whole family affair.
Oh, good God. Do you know anything about this one? It only made... How much?
I do.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I do.
$10 million budget.
$10 million budget.
In 1993.
In 1993. That's insane.
How much do you think it made at the box office?
$18,000.
Well, you saw it.
Yes.
18,369.
That's
Ooh.
And I've never heard about this.
It has a 0%. Only 5 reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. Okay, so this is not.
Here's the thing. I don't know if it got widespread distribution. I know that I think we can find it and we can watch this movie. Now, I also know that I just looked at like the basic IMDb trivia for this. So if you're looking, you can probably see it too. Nicolas Cage brought his own wig and like sunglasses and was not given like direction as to what to wear for his character. So
Nice.
he just showed up, whatever he wanted to do. He just showed up and like did whatever he wanted for this film.
I just want to knock this one out so we can get to the next one, which is Wicker Man.
Yes. So yeah, we'll tease you there. So we're gonna get past Deadfall, which I'm still excited about, and then, ladies and gentlemen, Wicker Man is coming up. It is time.
So, wow, that went much longer than I expected, but
absolutely.
We hope that you don't get left behind.
I wish we'd all been ready.
Okay, goodbye.
Goodbye.